She move her body like a shaman. All in my head, so much in common. Just say that word, baby, I'm on it. If this ain't love, then I don't want it. She move her body like a shaman.
All right, so hi guys, welcome back to Culture Healing. Today I have no idea what we're talking about. I do have an idea, but he is kind of going to take the lead. I'm going to ask questions. I guess we're going to be doing some more cryptocurrency and see what he is going to show us today. Because the last time we spoke, he was telling us that it's the banks are going to start trading using cryptocurrency, and that did happen. So now is like, what do we do next? So he is here to tell us that. So yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I'm doing for everybody. Just going to inform you guys on the cryptocurrency space, and shed some light as to what's going on right now amidst this pandemic and what's going on right under your noses that media coverage is not showing you. And, I'm gonna show you guys how you can potentially make millions of dollars by this opportunity that's right in front of us right now.
All right, good. So the last time we spoke, we learned cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all those different things that we didn't know. So the last time you left us hanging with the banks are going to start trading. So tell us how it come to fruition, of course. So how did that start? Who start trading with what, why, etc.
Okay, so when it comes to your space, how well versed are you on cryptocurrencies? First is what I want to know.
Not.
Was I the first one who kind of brought knowledge to the space?
Pardon me?
Or have your foot dipped in it a little bit?
No, I haven't gone anywhere in this as well. I am now getting started. From when we spoke, from what I've been watching online, from other people that I've been talking to, all those things. I just know what they want to do, how to trade. I'm learning how to do that as well with the stuff that you sent me, and yeah, that's about it basically.
All right. So I'm gonna start from square one because I would love for you guys to trade, but before you trade, I would love for you guys to hold. So basically, what I want everyone to do is to just own it. Don't worry about owning it and then trading it. I just want you to own it, right? So it's like, why am I saying what I'm saying? It's because what's going on right now is a new technology has been created. This technology is called blockchain technology. It's called hyperledger technology, distributed ledger technology. These are different terms for this new technology that's being backed and regulated by the biggest financial institutions in the world. So we're talking BMI, we're talking Google, we're talking Goldman Sachs, we're talking, Rothschild. These guys are developing technologies that they call blockchain technology, they call it hyperledger technology, and they call it distributed ledger technology. These are different names for this thing, right? So what is this technology? Well, it's what we're seeing is the evolution of the money system. So everything evolves. Transportation evolved. We went from walking to riding the horse to driving the car to hopping on rocket ships. You know what I'm saying? Everything evolves. And then communication evolves. We went from talking to
telephone
and Morse
to
code.
texting. Yeah, that's true.
And then, cell phones.
Yes, please.
So now we're seeing the evolution of money. So we went from, trading seeds and trading shells to trading silver, to trading gold, and trading money, paper money. Now paper money, that's
obsolete soon.
Obsolete now.
Yeah.
Now we're going into bringing money to the internet. We're
Yes.
digitizing money. It's the new evolution.
Mm.
So this is happening right now, real time. Now, what I'm saying is that we could make millions of dollars off this because a lot of us are young, but if we were older, then we would have been around during the dot-com boom, which is when the internet first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And when the internet first came out, that's when we saw mega giants like Google, like Yahoo, like AOL,
MySpace.
and all of that.
Yeah.
MySpace, exactly. And you've seen how much hundreds of millions of dollars and how much
Yes.
businesses the internet technology created.
Mm.
Well, the people that were set up when the internet came out and were well set up with information and knew what was gonna happen and they knew they could make money from it. Those guys are millionaires now.
Mm.
Now we have the same thing happening here, where we know, not even I look at the stats, only 0.6% know of money
What the
becoming
change?
digitized right now.
Yeah.
Out of 7 billion people, only 0.6% of people know about cryptocurrencies.
Mm.
And we now know that money is becoming digital. So what could we do if we know that? Well, we could go ahead of the banks because soon we'll have to go to banks to get our cryptocurrencies.
Mm.
But right now we don't need the banks.
Mm.
So we could go and we could buy these cryptocurrencies and don't worry about trading it. You hold on to it.
Mm.
Because when the banks get their foot into the door, and then when the banks start giving it out to the people, at that point, the value of the cryptocurrency that you own will have rose.
Mm.
So your little $100 investment could turn into 1,000.
Mm.
If you invest 25,000, it could turn into hundreds of thousands,
Mm.
of millions. You know, and it's just about information and setting yourself up properly.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying hold, and this is what's going on right now. The money system, the whole economic system is being revolutionized, and their excuse is the coronavirus pandemic. They're saying that we have to do this because our economy is broken, because of the large amount of debt, and we have to go forward with digital currency assets to fix the problem. And their excuse is the virus, but this is a long plan before the virus. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my hearing is, this is what a few people are saying, that this is not going to last long, and how there is no backdoor. At any point they can take your money because you're doing it online and run with it. Is there a possibility of something like that occurring with this new change?
So if we look at the history of government, they're all about control, and they're at a lack of morality and ethics.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're gonna look at the past and look at the behaviors in the past, and try to make a prediction on the future, then we have real good reason to believe that this is all about control.
Right.
So absolutely, this is about controlling, taking away your financial security from you, your financial everything. Because with this technology, all of your transaction history is now public.
Yes.
So you cannot buy anything privately anymore.
Yeah.
The bank sees exactly what you buy, everything, which gives them more control.
Yes.
Yeah. Now they're gonna say what they twist things. So they're gonna say, well, this is actually a good thing because now we can combat money laundering, and now we can combat illegal activities.
Right.
So that's how they're gonna promote it. So they're gonna promote it as if they're fighting a cause, a just battle, a just cause, but it's all about control, right?
Okay.
So another thing that they're gonna pitch out to you, because this is what they're pitching already. They're saying that this technology, distributed ledger technology that they're throwing the money onto, what it does is that it solves the problem of sending money. So
Mm.
the system we use now is Swift. So if you want to send me money in Australia, you got to use the Swift banking system, where you go to a bank, right, and then um, the bank uses this technology named Swift, and then your money would take days to get to me, because that bank could send it to another bank and the beneficiary bank, and,
Mm-hmm.
and then it comes to my bank, and then my bank puts it in my account.
Right.
So all of that takes time.
Right.
Now with this distributed ledger technology, when I send you money, you get it in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So I press send, and then by the time you open up your phone, the money's in your account.
Oh.
So they're going to market that, and they're going to say, well, now you could get paid instantly. Now when you go to work, you don't got to wait, 1 or 2 days to get your check or whatever. You get paid instantly,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it solves the problem of on-demand liquidity, because now money is independent, so the market stays liquid. Money is always moving, and transactions are being settled instantly.
Right.
So that's how they market these things. They market it
Okay.
showing only its good sides,
Mm-hmm.
which are real good sides,
Mm-hmm.
but we know that it's being regulated, because we're talking about Google here. We're
Yeah.
talking about the IMF,
Right.
which is the World Bank, basically.
Right.
These are the guys that is regulating this technology. It's not
Oh.
normal people. Like,
Us. Yeah. Yeah. They know the loopholes into something like this.
exactly, it's crooks. It's
Yeah.
crooks, gangsters.
Right.
And these gangsters are regulating the system that they
Right.
promote it as decentralized. So they say that we're taking the power out of our hands, and the power is only in the
Is
technology.
in
Technology does what it does automatically. The banks ain't doing anything, but the
right.
banks are the ones creating it and regulating it.
Right.
So
Yeah. But saying something like that too is not really gonna appease the public, because technology, as we all know, we use it every day. That shit can crash. Anybody can hack that shit. You know what I mean? So
and that's what they're working on all right now. Security. So blockchain technology is extremely hard to crash. So Bitcoin was susceptible, because Bitcoin uses technology called proof of work. So
wait, hold on, you broke up. They use a technology called what?
Proof of work.
Okay, proof of work. All right.
So proof of work is basically it's hard for me to explain, because you got to be a real tech guy to understand these things. But it's a system that's flawed, because it uses consensus between computers all over the world that does these mining operations and creates algorithms that confirm different transactions. But take all the tech jargon out of it, it's flawed. Let's put it that way. It's flawed, and no one trusted it, because it could be hacked, and it has been hacked, right? So proof of work doesn't work. Proof of work doesn't work. So they move from proof of work into into another blockchain technology that uses proof of stake. Now, for you to hack or to compromise, that technology, then you have to hack all the computers of the world at the same time. That's how they designed it. They designed the technology to the point where if you do hack it, so that means they have to have control of my computer, everybody else in the world computer.
Got you. At the same time, like one of those thing codes in the movies where the president and somebody else got to press it in order for anything to launch at the same time. Type of thing.
Exactly. And then to get even more technical, not only do you gotta hack my computer, but then you gotta hack the satellites out there in damn space.
Trying to get into NASA.
Yeah.
Okay.
The technology, distributed ledger technology, it's also on satellites. That we're gonna get into, and I'm gonna show you how they're really, even pushing this thing to people who are not in banking,
Mm-hmm.
like people in the rurals,
Right.
like in say out there in Serengeti, Africa,
Mm-hmm. How
they're
are
trying
they
to
going to
get,
use it? 'Cause that was my next question. How are people who don't have a bank account or anywhere close to something in this change? How is that going to affect them? But continue, we're going to get there.
they're working on that. Yep, save
Yeah.
that question. They're working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is gonna blow your mind
Yeah.
of what they're doing, because I'm telling you, we're going into the space age. Technology
Mm.
is but yes, where was I?
Right. If they have it to the point where they're using NASA, and then you're going to tell me how they have that security set up.
Yeah. So you have these satellites that are running these nodes. So these protocols that is a part of the distributed ledger technology, right? So if you want to hack this, if you want to hack, say, my crypto wallet, or if you want to hack a transaction, right? Then you gotta hack all the computers of the world, and then you gotta hack the satellites that's running the nodes, and that's how it's security proof.
Mm. Okay. So this is if you are to do a big ass heist, you have to get real good tech people, and you have to have somebody working inside of NASA and all the other places in order for some shit like that to go down.
Yeah, hypothetically, you would, or you
Hypothetically.
quantum computing technology at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They have quantum computers that they're developing right now, and these guys are saying that it's even quantum computer proof. That's what they're saying. So it looks
Okay.
like these
They
guys are thinking
really okay. They really want this to happen. So they're really thinking of loopholes, like questions like I'm asking, they're sure of hell thought through all of that as well.
yeah,
Yeah, but
because
then go ahead.
they know that at the end of the day, they know that that's what people are afraid of. It's about being hacked.
Mm-hmm.
So all of their efforts there, and that's why there's this big conglomerate known as PolySign, and that's PolySign's ambition is to become a custodian. So they're working as a bank. A bank is a custodian. They custody. So PolySign is going to custody the digital assets, right? So it's an online bank, put it that way. And they're going to be the new Goldman Sachs. They're going to be the new JP Morgans.
Wow.
These guys are going to be massive.
Wow.
And
All right.
all they're doing is working on security.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. So we've gotten to that point, but all right, I'm going to bring in that question now as well. For people who are not even close to knowing something like this, let's say that this is a cause, this is something that's going to happen. We have no choice but to change with the currency, right? For people who are like in the village that has no access to internet, that has no access to a lot of things, but they decide to go, how are they going to be able to get any sort of currency to exchange if they don't really know anything of it? How is that going to work? Help them?
Okay, so people don't know of it now, but they will get educated, because that's just where things are
Changes.
going.
Yeah, they
They
have
get
no
more
choice basically.
Yeah, because it's already running. It's already running. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna if I remember how to do the screen share stuff.
Oh, at the bottom, yeah. That's if. Let me see if you have permission.
I want to let everyone know about how real this is. All right, how real this is, because you have the head of the IMF, or the old head of the IMF, Christine Lagarde, right? So this is the International Monetary Fund. Christine Lagarde is saying that she wants all the central banks to be on the same page. the superpower central banks as well. So she's
Mm-hmm.
talking about the central banks in America, the central banks in China, the central bank in what is it? You got America, you got China, and
Um,
you got the Swiss, which is also a safe haven,
mm-hmm.
and you got Europe, the
Mm-hmm.
Great British, GBP,
Mm-hmm.
and these are basically your safe haven assets. These are like the strongest assets, right? The
Mm-hmm.
strongest currencies. So you want the central banks in these different nations to be on the same page. That's the role of the IMF.
Mm-hmm.
And then when banks go into default, or when banks are basically in a tight squeeze and they need money, they run to the IMF. And then the IMF give out what's called special drawing rights, which is basically nothing. It's basically this paper that the banks could sell for trillions of dollars and get bailed out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So so the takeaway from all of this is that the IMF is what bails banks out, and the IMF is what unifies central banks all over the world.
Oh,
That's the IMF. Then
okay.
you got the president of the IMF, who is Christine Lagarde, or that's the ex-president. Right now, it's another lady. I forgot her name,
I'll
but
find her.
huh?
I said I'll find her and put her there.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And Christine Lagarde, she's of the view that CBDCs need to be created.
Mm-hmm.
So CBDC stands for central bank digital currencies.
Mm-hmm.
So just to stop right there, people don't believe that cryptocurrency will ever be a thing. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
People say, you'll never go to, and what do you talk? They think I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the IMF is saying that crypto-based digital currencies need to be established. And then she says, why do it need to be established? Because right now, cryptocurrencies exist and they're causing a big dent inside of the financial system.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the financial system that was doing its thing. The next thing you know, cryptocurrency came, and then now it's causing a ripple effect. And she's saying that this is a good thing and a bad thing. And she's willing to work with cryptos.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is that she sees it as a shadow, what she called it, a shadow, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't trust it.
Mm-hmm.
So what she's saying is that we need regulators to get behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Regulators being none other than herself,
Right.
the IMF and the banks. So the banks are looking at this technology and they're saying, all right, we need to control this thing because the banks are about control.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to control this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do we need to control it, but every single nation has to make their own central bank digital
Mm-hmm.
currency.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got to have the United States dollar, which is
Mm-hmm.
a powerhouse. They need to go digital. They need to make a digital dollar. You
Right.
got China, a
Mm-hmm.
powerhouse. China needs to make a digital yuan. You got, euro. They need to be a digital euro, a digital GBP.
Right. Right. So every country and island have their own currency in
Gotta
terms
have
of.
their own currency that's
Right.
digital.
Okay.
So then, let me share the screen
Yeah.
because
Go ahead.
this is
Nice. I like it.
it's because I was signed in.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so you see my screen now?
Yes. Gotcha. Gotcha.
All right, cool. All right, so now this is Christine Lagarde. So she's ex-head of the IMF. I'll show you who the current president and CEO of IMF is.
Okay.
So she's Christine. That's it. similar name. So she's Christina Georgieva, or whatever her name is.
Okay.
Georgieva, right?
Okay.
So, and she's of the same opinion of Christine Lagarde, right?
Okay.
So let's go with what Christine Lagarde saying. This is 2018, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can hear it.
Well, because the fintech revolution questions the two forms of money.
All right. So she said fintech revolution. Fintech is basically the technology of digitizing money for banking. All right. So every time she says fintech, that's what she means. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone, you see that the IMF is talking about digitizing money.
Yeah.
All right.
That we just discussed, coins and commercial bank deposit. And it questions the role of the state in providing money. We are at a historic turning point. You, young or not so young, doesn't matter, but bold entrepreneurs gathered here today, you are not just inventing new services,
Open
you
your
are
screen
reinventing
somewhere.
the history of money. You're drawing a completely new future, actually.
Is that better?
And we are all in the process of adapting. A new wind is blowing, and it is that of digitalization. And in this new world, we meet anywhere, anytime, as they said. And surprise, surprise, the town square is back. Back on your smartphone.
You skip
We
forward
exchange
a
it,
little bit.
a world in which millennials are reinventing how our economy works, phone in hand. This is key. Money itself is changing.
So she's saying money is changing. It's the digital era now, right?
Mm.
We expect it to become more convenient, more user friendly, perhaps even less serious looking. We expect it to be integrated with social media, readily available for online and person to person use, including micropayments.
Money being integrated with social media and used for micropayments.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we expect it to be cheap, safe, protected against criminals and prying eyes.
That's the security you mentioned.
Yeah.
What role will remain for cash in this digital world?
What's going to be to remain for cash? She's talking down on cash.
Yeah.
There are already signs in some shop windows. Cash not accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Credit
not
card.
just Scandinavia, the poster child of a cashless world. In various other countries too, demand for cash is decreasing, as is shown in our IMF work. And in 10, 20, 30 years' time, who will still be exchanging those pieces of paper called checks?
Yay, save the planet.
Positive, too, feeling the pressure from new forms of money. Think of the new specialized payment providers that offer e-money, from Alipay to WeChat in
So there we saw her. She's making a case, basically,
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. She trying to sell me that shit.
trying to get rid of cash.
Yeah.
Right? This is the World Bank, people. This is the World Bank talking.
Mm-hmm.
Let me now turn to my second issue. What is the role of the state? What is the role of a central bank in that
Okay.
new monetary landscape?
Here we go.
Some suggest that the state should back off, should back down. Providers of e-money argue that they are less risky than banks because they do not lend money. Instead, they hold client funds in custodian accounts and simply settle payments within the network.
There it is, right? So that's the whole point of crypto, guys. The whole point of crypto is to take the power away from the banks because the banks are nothing. The banksters and brokers are nothing but filthy little animals,
Gangsters.
that gangsters that make billions of dollars off of people suffering, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way that banks make money, this is how banks make money. You go to your bank and you give that bank your money, right? that bank, say you go to the bank, you give a bank $100. Well, if you ever want to go back to that bank, the bank has to have your $100 in there,
Mm.
right? So the banks don't care about that, right? The banks will take your $100 and then lend $90 out of it to somebody else. So they kept $10 and they
Oh,
gave away $90.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
$90 that they gave away, they're gonna charge interest because
Mm.
that $90 they gave away to somebody for a loan. So somebody came to the bank and asked for a loan, and then the bank gave that person your money, and then they charged that person interest
On it.
on it.
Wow.
So
Plus the interest that you have as well that they can charge to keep your money
that
too. So that.
they charge to keep your money.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
banks
Mm-hmm.
make one of the ways that the banks make money is by putting you in debt.
Mm.
So banks don't make money out of if you're not suffering because you must
Right.
be in debt for the bank to make money.
Wow.
So the whole point of crypto is to say to hell with the banks.
Wow.
But
Okay.
here we go, having the damn World Bank now trying to step their foot into the crypto world,
Right.
trying to
Right.
take control of the
Take it away
crypto
from you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
world. So she just said that the role of the exchanges. Now, what an exchange is basically is you could say it as the digital bank, only that the exchange isn't so corrupt. The exchange, all they do is that they hold your crypto assets.
Mm-hmm.
So if you buy XRP or you buy, Bitcoin, then instead of putting it in the bank, you could just put it on the exchange, and the exchange won't charge you nothing. It's just there. Like that's all it does. It just holds it.
Right. Right.
So,
So go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So she's saying that she doesn't trust the exchange.
Hmm.
She's saying
I
she doesn't
guess
trust the
you're right.
exchange.
Because at
So
the end of the day, they ain't really got no control. You're doing this online. You don't really know what's gonna happen, if anything is gonna happen, if some shit is
and
gonna
that's what
crash.
they're using for their argument. They're
Yeah.
saying that well, people could hack the exchanges and
Anything. Yeah.
people could get could lose their money.
Right.
So the banks need to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing.
Okay. Which then takes you back all the way to square one again, which makes it worse because you yourself have no control again from them, because everyone right now, people don't want to use the mic anymore. People don't want. That's why a lot of people do in-home banking. No one wants to go there, right? So the fact that we found another way to use cryptocurrency in a different light, and then all of a sudden, which in the first place was to get away from the bank. Now we still got to go back through them to get certain things. Is back to square one if you think about it, but in a different light.
Back to square one. We created this technology to get away from the banks, and the banks found it to get their foot in there.
Yeah.
And this is her rationalizing it.
Mm.
So yeah, let's continue.
For their part, cryptocurrencies seek to anchor trust in technology. And as long as they are transparent and you are techie savvy, you might trust their services. Still, I'm not entirely convinced.
See?
Proper regulation of these entities will remain a pillar of trust.
Bang. So she wants to regulate. There it is. The IMF, they want cryptocurrencies and they want to regulate it. That's what the IMF just told us. All right. So then, this right here is Brad Garlinghouse, and this right here is Deputy General of the IMF. Right? Now look at the conversation between these two. This one is quiet. This one says it all.
Regulatory clarity and regulatory framework.
So, sorry, Brad Garlinghouse is president of Ripple, and Ripple is the largest holder of the asset known as XRP. XRP is what I'm telling the world to buy. So everybody that's listening to this, get yourself some XRP.
Mm-hmm.
And this video right here, and what the IMF is doing, and what JP Morgan is doing, and all of these guys, they're all backing Ripple. Ripple is interwoven with the government. Ripple is interwoven with central banks all over the world. They're international. Ripple is in Brazil. Ripple is in Japan. Ripple is in the SBI, right? The SBI is the largest asset firm in Japan. They're basically the central bank of Japan.
Right.
Ripple is Japan, and SBI uses RippleNet, which is the technology I told you about, the distributed ledger technology. It's known as RippleNet. So Brazil is using it, Japan is using it, America's using it. You know, they're international. Bank of England, Bank of America, they're all using RippleNet. So this guy right here, Brad Garlinghouse, he's the CEO and president of Ripple. And wouldn't you know, the CEO and president of Ripple is next to a very powerful man. This guy right here is the deputy general of the IMF. So he is a powerful man. He's a whale, right? Now, I want you to take a look at his body language, because
the IMF one, he is hella relaxed at this point.
He's hella relaxed.
Yeah.
And I want you to take a look at Brad Garlinghouse's body language.
He trying to make a point to sell me some shit. That's a sell me pose right there. You can buy this today type of pose.
Yes, and you know, if you're a salesman, you got to be confident.
Yeah.
Right? So check this out.
Works enable banks and financial institutions to lean into these markets, and I think we will surprise ourselves by this time. And by the way, I'll also predict that it will be banks in the ASEAN markets where there is this regulatory clarity and there is a lot of progressive, forward thinking. They'll be the first to actually allow for crypto assets custody in their accounts. All right, with that, we'll turn it over to questions. And I see a bunch of questions on this screen, which I can't really read from here, but we're supposed to pick some. Can you see those? Oh, there's 2 votes.
Let me try.
Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future?
They just asked.
A powerful question. Yeah.
Do you see the IMF holding cryptocurrencies in the future?
Yeah.
Look at that.
What a question. I would like to hear this answer.
You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Now, I also want you to notice how confident this man, and just how confident he is next to the deputy general of the IMF.
Yeah.
So he's not a little small. He's not a small.
Nah, he know. They've been talking about this shit.
Powerful as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things.
Yes. I ain't gonna get this video.
Maybe I should take with the.
What was that?
I said I have to get this video because it's sticking a little bit, so we're not able to watch it properly because it's sticking a lot.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh man. Hold on.
It's not sticking on your end?
On my end, it should be alright.
Are you able to watch it without the stickage? Play it and see and let me know, because I don't know if it's my end or your end, but we can't see a lot at this point. We're just hearing bits by bits.
But you said you can't see it without the what though? What's the problem?
No, we can't. It's sticking. He is moving like a whole stick figure, and all we hearing is voices, but the visuals are not going so well.
Video, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Play it like that, and let's see if it might be because it might have been white screen. Leave it in small screen and see what happens.
Okay, let's try it.
There.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about go into great details about
Maybe
the
I
IMF.
should take what the IMF is going to do. I think we
look,
stunned Ross into silence with that one.
For that to happen, okay, under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency.
To use digital currencies, another country has to use it first. He just said that. The Deputy General just said that.
And he was hella uncomfortable saying that too, because that's kind of letting out their strategy in a way.
And not the big plan.
Exactly.
So, now let's go look at this. China launches digital yuan because China is a part of the approved countries of the IMF. So you have approved countries. Not every country is involved with the IMF. China, Russia, America, Canada, the G20, right? These are the countries that are involved in the IMF. So, look at this. China just launched this digital yuan.
That was in July this year.
This is very, very recent.
Corona been good on them because they've been working. They ain't waste a single Corona minute.
Look at this one. Chinese digital currency.
Wow.
So, this one said it doesn't have a launch date. It's already launched. China has already launched the digital yuan. If I rewind that video, I believe the head deputy general said that they'll do it once a country does it. And China has launched it.
So he voted there in China. Yeah.
So that means the IMF is considering using cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
But now it will be logical to think this, because China has launched the digital yuan. So if China launched the digital yuan, then my logic would tell me that America must be working on the same thing.
Yeah, because
China's competitors.
It's
right?
true.
So let's go look if there's a digital dollar for America, right? Digital American dollar. The U.S. falling behind on the digital dollar, says Forbes. U.S. moves closer to digital dollar, says Forbes. The U.S. Congressman digital dollar hearing is today. So the United States are already, I know they already have a digital dollar, but this is just to show you.
They're talking about it.
In the and involved in the creation of the digital dollar. So while people are sitting there saying that cryptocurrency will never be a thing and that it's impossible and that people who believe in digital currencies is crazy, the IMF seems to think different.
They need to go with a change too, because they're trying to get that money, so don't be fooled.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They're trying to get the money because they see the amount of value in cryptocurrency.
Exactly.
So the United States seems to be different. So the only people that seems to be smarter than China, the United States, and the IMF are the poor people who are sitting there doubting the fact that cryptocurrencies is going to be a thing. Instead of using the information to get rich, we're doubting it and just calling each other crazy instead of using our minds and getting rich off it.
Yeah, dude. Legit. I seriously, this is the vibe. But at the end of the day, you can't just sit down and wait for something to happen, for somebody to give you a little cryptocurrency for dummy manual and then go do your thing. You have to start at the beginning. You have to start way ahead of the hype. So this is basically what we're here trying to tell you. Start ahead of the hype.
Because I've realized that I cannot inspire someone to invest in cryptocurrencies just by telling them to go buy
Go do
XRP.
it. Yeah, they're lost, man. They're not
I
gonna do
have
shit.
to like do the research and show
Yeah.
them these things to show them that it's not a myth.
Yeah, right.
Like this isn't no fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're seeing is the old money. Now, this is the thing that people got to understand. The whole money system is being transferred over to a new technology. So we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of quadrillions of zillions of dollars going into a new assets class. So every investor knows this, is that a new asset class always shows enormous opportunities because it's a new asset class. So a lot of money's going to go into it. There's a lot of potential there. This is the first time we've seen something of this since 1900s, since Rockefeller, those guys, Henry Ford, and these guys that were around the days of the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was a new asset class. That's how you see the Rockefeller get so damn rich and ruling the world today. But they took advantage of the new asset class.
Yeah.
This is happening again right in front of us right now. And it's so big because now money is transforming itself. It's actually money transforming. So the opportunities are so big that they're keeping it away from you. They got you looking at the virus, the vaccines, which is all credible. You need to look at that virus. You need to look at that vaccine because it's all bullshit.
All right, wait. Let's talk about vaccine. I don't want me to come off this topic, but as you mentioned, right? Let's talk about that because you sent me some information regarding they having these small nanomites and all sorts of stuff in there. Let's push that in there. The next video we will definitely dive into everything vaccine, but I want them to understand how this vaccine correlates with all this bullshit.
The vaccine correlates with this. All right, blockchain technology. So, well, like I said, the blockchain.
You haven't. Boom, cool. We're back. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so you asked me how does this technology link up with the vaccinations?
Yes, please.
So, blockchain technology. With blockchain, you could track everything. So you have this one called Vechain. I'm also an investor in Vechain because Vechain is a cryptocurrency and it's a blockchain technology that that is very good to fight against counterfeiting. So if you work for Louis Vuitton, if you work for Gucci, for Prada, well, a lot of people make fake Louis Vuitton, fake Gucci, fake Prada, and fake Ray-Bans. So the company is losing billions of dollars per year based off of counterfeited merchandise, right? So if I own Ray-Bans and then I got somebody making fake Ray-Bans, then I'm losing money. So Vechain just came to me and they said they could solve my problem because now we have this blockchain technology that will track every single place that your product goes from the factory to the shelves in the market. So from the creation of the glasses all the way to the eyeglass store. You track every single place it's been, and not only do you track where it's been, you track the temperature of where it's been. It's there. It's like if I want to track if I'm the supermarket, say I'm ShopRite, or if I'm a restaurant, then I gotta make sure that the food that I'm selling my people are of the highest quality.
Yeah.
So Vechain could come to me, and now I could track where those avocados came from.
Right.
And then I could make sure that the avocados wasn't frozen, or I could make sure it wasn't, heated up.
Yes.
So basically, it gives you assurability that it's real and that it's of the highest quality.
Right.
That's how they pitch it. The truth of the matter is that they know every single place you've been, every single thing you've done. They know your temperature. They know when you're excited. They know when you're sad. They can read your hormones. They can read your
Mm-hmm.
pheromones, all by this blockchain
So
technology.
basically, God, if you both they masturbating 20 times a day, they can know. Just like
They can know. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So how does that link up with vaccines now?
Yes, let's please tell me.
So the way that works is if you're vaccinated, say you're vaccinated with these microchips that's in the vaccines. It's been published that there's
I'll
nano.
put it there for you guys to see.
Yeah, please let them see it. It's been published that there are microchips that they're the size of cells. They're so small that they're the size
Chinese.
of cells inside the vaccine that's going to have this technology involved in the vaccine. So they're going to inject you with this thing, saying it's going to save your life, where not only is it going to kill you, it's going to track your ass down everywhere
you go. Yeah, yeah.
And then, not only does it track your ass down every single place you go, now money's digital. So they know every single place you go, and they know every single thing you buy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's total control. Total control.
Damn.
And
So,
then
go
there's
ahead.
going to be
Go ahead.
social credit score.
It's
So
going
in
to do
China,
what?
There's going to be things like social credit score.
Okay.
So in China, this is what communism is. Communism is when they take away your individuality and your freedom of expression. You can't express your uniqueness of spirit and soul. So in China, the group is important and the individual is not. That's communism. So if anybody, acts in a way that is unique to the group, then they're penalized. They are, they have consequences to deal with. So say I'm outside and then I laugh, haha, find something funny, right? This is an extreme example, but this is how social credit works. Say I laugh, haha, or I disagree with something that the group agrees with. Well, now I got cameras tracking me. Cameras are everywhere. Cameras tracking me. So the cameras pick up these things.
Basically, Eagle Eye, the movie.
Yeah, Eagle Eye, right? And then also people are not agreeing with me because I'm an individual and I see different than the group.
Right.
So then they can rate me. They can bring down my social credit score.
Damn.
Then I can get banned from driving. I can get banned from going to the supermarket.
So wait, let's put this in a nutshell. Basically, what they're trying to do is like people like me and you that are the woke society. They're trying to fuck us up. Basically, simple.
Yeah, they're kicking their asses out.
Boom. So we can't but have it out of the box ideas and conversation like what we having right now.
Censorship. It's all about censorship. This is what Google is about. This is what YouTube is about. If you drop a video exposing pedophilia on YouTube, they're blocking your channel.
Yeah, aka Will Ferrell, not Will Ferrell, Young Ferrell. Look what they're doing to his channel. Come on now.
Young Ferrell got to sue them.
Wow,
because they're censoring his stuff because he's talking out against the deep state. Now, if you don't agree with them, you're their enemy. And if you're their enemy, they will censor you because they have complete control of the information, right? And that's what the social credit is, and that's where these technologies really focus on. It's not about, it's not about instant settlements, on-demand liquidity. Oh man, now we're bringing the unbanked into the financial world. No, it's not. It's not about that. It's about straight up control, globalization, new world order.
Basically, so let's put it in another nutshell. Right now, they're trying to fuck up Black people again. Understand that, big man.
Absolutely.
Don't just think. Go ahead.
We have a beautiful opportunity here because the technology isn't a bad technology. The technology is in the hands of the demons. Satan. They're in the hands of Satan. So, for instance, I was looking at what Akon's doing. Akon's looking his own city out there in Senegal, right? So Akon City is going to be ran off of the Stellar digital ledger. So you have Ripple, which I just showed you, Brad Garland House and all that. And then you have another one named Stellar. Stellar is going to be the technology that Akon uses for his cryptocurrency coin called the Acoin.
Mm-hmm.
The Acoin is going to be backed by Stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Stellar is a good technology. It's a technology given to us by the beast, but it's a good technology, and we could really build up our Wakanda. Like Akon's vision is beast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at the blueprints of the city and you see what he's doing and how it's designed to attract tourism and bring up, you know, the GDP of Senegal, then that's great. But you better not fall into their trap. Because if you don't, because first of all, we got to realize that Akon's cryptocurrency isn't Akon's cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It's Stellar's cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Stellar controls Akon shit.
Yeah.
So knowing that it's power, because if we know that, then we can't fall into their trap.
Right. Yeah. Don't put all your eggs in a basket type of thing.
Exactly. Right. So we could use their shit.
Right.
We could use shit with full knowledge of who they are and what they are.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Play chess, people. Play chess. I've been saying this for like months now. Play chess.
Play chess, man. Chess we're playing here.
Big man, I'm telling you.
This is the last push they're pushing for globalization.
Yeah. And mind you, yeah, and if it's so that they do get this shit working, understand that this is gonna, because money lasts for what? I gotta Google that, but let's assume money, the paper shit, lasts for what, 107 years, right? I can Google it and put it there. I assuming money itself. How long did the paper money itself last for before they decide that they want to change that? I don't know. I will Google it and put it somewhere there. Right? It lasts for, but I assuming at least 100 and something, maybe 200 and something years, and then they change that. So once this change is going to go on for a long time. So we as a people need to not have this happen to us. Because it's not just only everything cryptocurrency, but they're tying into this with the vaccine. We're tracking you. We're keeping we done all over again. So,
but this is what we could do, though.
Right. That was my next question.
That I'm saying, right? It's like, what was that?
No, I said that was my next question to you. What do we do? Yeah.
Okay. This is what we could do. Is that we know there's an economic crisis. We know that there's a huge transfer of wealth about to take place. We know that there's a huge transfer of wealth going into a new digital asset class, and it's a cryptocurrency class, and hyper ledger, distributed ledger technology. So basically, it's a new internet.
Right.
So all this money's being put into a new internet. So how do we make money from that? Well, you have to listen to what these people are saying. The banks are saying that there's a problem with cross-border payments. The banks are saying that, you know, the United States dollar is in trouble right now. And the United States dollar being in trouble it's a big deal. And this is why. It's because the whole world uses the United States dollar.
Yes, please.
So even in China, if you're in China, you have to buy oil with the dollar. And then get your oil. You can't use the yuan to buy oil.
Wow.
In Brazil, they can't use their national fiat currency to buy oil. Wow. They have to use the dollar. The dollar is the international reserve currency. Right? And then say I'm sending money to you in Barbados. I will send you Australian dollars. The Australian dollars will not be converted into Jamaican dollars, or it won't be converted into Mexican pesos. No, it's going to be converted.
Hey, you. Yes, you. So, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for coming to my page. So, I would like for you to subscribe, and I also want you to watch the last video, and I hope that you enjoy everything on my channel. Thank you.